Welcome to the Tailgate Debate. You're here with Anthony, Zach, Jamie, and Earl.
All right, hey, what's up, fellas? We're back for the Week 5 college preview, college review, and Week 4 NFL review. We got a lot to talk about. We got Garrett on as the guest, average guy. We don't have celebrity guests. We got the Garrett guest, who can't wait to talk about the Ravens down in the fourth quarter. But let's get to that in a minute. Let's do college football first. So I'll go through our picks from last week, and there's some pretty good storylines. There's almost a lot of upsets. First game. So, well, overall, I got 5 right on the picks from last week. I did terrible again. Earl got 8, Zach got 6, and Jamie got 7. So overall, I got 27. Earl has 38. Earl's leading the way. Earl, I'm not sure if you're doing your picks before the games, if you're waiting until they're done or what, because there's no way that you're doing this well. Zach has 30. Zach has 32, and Jamie has 30.
A poor loser.
What'd you say?
You're just a poor loser.
I haven't lost anything yet.
You're losing.
I'm gonna come back in the fourth quarter like every team does against the Ravens.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, hold on. So let's go through the college picks. So the first game that we had was Alabama. We all picked Alabama. It ended up being a pretty close game. You guys have any thoughts on this? They ended up blowing out. I mean, it was close for 3 quarters, and then Alabama went crazy in the fourth quarter. But the quarterback got knocked out.
Yeah, Arkansas was way worse than I fucking thought. Like, you knock out the starter, you have all the momentum, cut it to a 5-point lead, and then give up 3 70-yard runs when you know they can't throw the ball in the fourth quarter. It's fucking pathetic. Yeah. So Arkansas should not even be in the top 25. They should just fuck off.
Yeah, it was so obvious that quarterback couldn't throw the ball. And I think he broke a 70-yard run, and then the Gibbs guy broke 2 long runs, and the game was over at that point.
So, yeah, I mean, we watched the game together. It was one of those games that Arkansas just couldn't stick with them after a while. I mean, that they got tired at the end. The guys just blew them away in the running game.
Would you guys say this is a situation where Arkansas stepped on their own dick? Or is Alabama pretty good?
I think Alabama stepped on their dick.
I think they were taking turns stepping on their own dicks.
Yeah,
in the first half it was Arkansas. In the third quarter it was Bama, and in the fourth quarter it was Arkansas again.
Yeah. All right, so lot stepping. All right, Garrett, did you watch this game?
Yeah, I watched towards the end.
What were your thoughts?
That quarterback is really fast. I know that. That's.
Are you hoping the Ravens draft him?
No.
Plug and play.
No, we have enough of that.
Yeah, that's funny because that's more insight than the Arkansas defensive coordinator had. So
right, exactly.
Oh, look up on the screen, like, what is this guy doing? Guy was flying.
Right. And so, yeah, so that was a crazy game actually. I thought, because once the quarterback went out, I thought Arkansas might make it close, and it looked like they would, but then they got their fucking ass whipped in the fourth quarter. So Alabama's still Alabama, and Arkansas still Arkansas. All right, next game we had was NC State Clemson. This one probably went according to script. I picked NC State. I was the only one. You guys all picked Clemson. I thought some chances, but they suck. I mean, the ACC is weak, so I don't really have a lot to say there. You guys got anything on this game?
Yeah, I mean, NC State had like a small lead in the first half, and as soon as Clemson scored to go up 13-10 right before half, it was over. The game was never close again.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I agree. ACC, I think, is pretty weak because I don't think Clemson's very good.
No, if Clemson plays in the playoff, they're gonna get beat like 42-10 or some shit. They can't score. So.
Yeah, I don't think they make the playoffs still, even though Pitt lost to Georgia Tech yesterday. I know Jamie can't wait to talk about it. I don't want to steal your thunder, Jamie, but I even though Pitt lost to Georgia Tech, I still think Pitt beats Clemson in the ACC title. So. I'm not impressed with Clemson. Next game, Kentucky Ole Miss. This was a really good game. We all had Kentucky except for Earl had Ole Miss. Earl, you want to give us your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, no, I thought Ole Miss ran the ball really well. I think they have a nice defense. Their defense played pretty well against Kentucky, and it was a close game. But I didn't think Kentucky could handle their running. That's all. I thought Ole Miss was strong in the run game.
Yeah. Garrett, did you watch this game?
No, I didn't catch this one.
Jamie, I know you've been high on Will Levis. What do you think of this game, of his performance in this game?
I thought that Kentucky was. I thought that they should have won the game, and I feel like Will Levis, he had 2 fumbles at the end of the game in the red zone in the fourth quarter, where they were going to take the lead. So I thought Kentucky really blew this game, and they probably should have won, but Ole Miss made the plays to win the game. It was a
I'm not so sure you can, I'm not so sure you can call that last fumble Levis's fault. I mean, that was a good pass rush, and
He also snapped the ball before his player was set. They actually scored a touchdown, so that was his mistake as well. He was rushing for no reason to get to the ball snapped. They had the play set up. They had the matchup they wanted. He snaps the ball too soon. They get a pre-snap penalty, wipes a touchdown off the board.
yeah,
Those are mistakes. And ball security, that's the quarterback's job. So if he's putting the ball on the ground, he's responsible.
Absolutely. Why do you see it otherwise, Earl?
I'm just saying that I thought it was a really good defensive play there.
For sure.
Guy reached over the defender. I mean, the guard and hit his arm. I mean, that was a good.
Anytime the defense forces a fumble and a turnover, it's a great play, but ball security, like the quarterback was going to the ground and lost the ball in the first one. And then the second one,
He was going to pass.
he was going to pass and the protection broke down. But I mean, you could say he was holding the ball a little too long. It's just an unfortunate play.
It's
I
only
don't agree at all. I felt like that game was Will Levis decided that stepping on his own dick wasn't enough. He had to stomp on his balls too. The safety was ridiculous. And then 2 turnovers in the red zone with the game on the line. You're down a field goal. You didn't have to score a touchdown. All you have to do there is don't fuck up. And he fucked up twice.
Did you see his fingers though?
Yeah, that was gross.
his finger was fucked up, man.
That shit was awesome.
He looked just like Booger McFarland. That shit was so gross. That shit was gross.
He looked like Earl throwing up the gang signs.
He did. He did. He put the sign.
Except it was like this.
Yeah,
Crooked.
it was definitely West Side.
I did.
We had the
If
two
you could-
opinions.
If you were reading his lips, he said Coolio too. All right. That's my ooh, Jamie.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's your catchphrase.
That's my catchphrase.
You say a joke, no one laughs, and you go,
Oh, fuck you. All right. Next game, Oklahoma State and Baylor. I had Oak State. Jamie had Oak State. Earl and Zach had Baylor. Oklahoma State beat the shit out of them, right?
Yeah, they dominated.
Sucks. I didn't think they were that bad, but they looked like mustard bottles, and they just shit all over themselves.
They did look like mustard bottles. Yeah. So the uniforms were as bad as the performance.
Yeah,
Any thoughts on this game? Anybody got anything? Because it was pretty lopsided.
It was a
Did you watch the game?
beatdown.
Didn't catch this one.
Yeah, no, it's all good. So yeah, I mean, there was not. I think the Big 12 is in trouble. And when you talk about the playoff, Oak State, I think, is their last hope because Oklahoma got their ass whipped too. And so I think the Big 12 is hanging all their hopes on Oklahoma State. And everybody knows that Oklahoma State's only good for 10 wins. That's all they do. So they're playing for a New Year's Day bowl. They don't really play for the playoffs. So I think the Big 12 is in trouble when it comes to the playoffs. Next is Utah and Oregon State. We all had Utah. I was really, I support my Beavers, but they couldn't get it done against the Utes. Next was Penn State. They took care of business against Northwestern with a fantastic 10-point win. So that was really impressive.
well, I know that game really wasn't important or anything, but there was
What game?
the Northwestern Penn State. There was a stat that Northwestern forced 5 turnovers in that game. They scored 0 points off of those turnovers and still lost by 10 points. That's impossible. Like, how do you do that? That is the definition of stepping on your own dick. That's amazing.
Are they going to be your fillator of the week?
No, they're a close second.
A close second. I think everybody picked the same fillator of the week this week.
Yeah,
I've got multiple, so
we might make history and have a unanimous winner.
Yeah,
MVP.
I think we might. But it probably won't come till the NFL selection. All right. So next was I agree with you, Jamie. I think it speaks volumes about how bad the Big Ten is too. I think it's a weird year in college football. I think the SEC is not doing that great. Alabama didn't Georgia did. There was a lot of weird games. And so I wouldn't say that any conference is really, blowing the doors off anybody right now. Everybody's kind of struggling in some really strange games. But that is crazy. 5 turnovers. And still to get beat by 10.
Only scored
Next was-
7.
What?
Yeah,
And only score 7.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty pathetic. Northwestern sucks. So that's another win for Maryland coming down the road, Earl. So that's good for you. All right.
State.
Next was Florida State and Wake. We all had Florida State except Jamie had Wake. Jamie, why were you high on Wake?
Not so much high on Wake. I think the game was pretty good. It was back and forth. But I just thought Wake, because before when we were talking about the game, I said that Wake would be focused after coming off of that overtime loss against Clemson. And Florida State really hadn't played anyone or beaten anyone that was good. I mean, their best win was LSU, which I don't think is also very good. So it wasn't that I was high on Wake Forest. I just thought that they were the better team.
So let me ask you before we keep going, because LSU is the next game after we have a game in between. But let's go ahead and talk about this because you're right. Florida State's only big win is against LSU. LSU struggled against Auburn. So what do you guys make of LSU and Florida State at this point? Florida State weaker than you thought, LSU? I mean, what do you guys make of these outcomes of this games? If anything, it was a weird day. Anybody?
I think
Earl?
I think they're both just mediocre. I mean, they're gonna have some decent games and some shitty ones, and they're both. I think their ceiling is very low, and so is their floor. So, I mean, LSU got dominated by Auburn the first half. Auburn sucks balls.
Yeah. Auburn
yeah.
does.
I think Zach's right. They're both mediocre teams. I picked Florida State. I just thought they were going to be better than Wake Forest. I mean, Wake Forest, I know was had a decent season last year, and they're playing pretty good right now. But I just thought they were better. And I think, I mean, I was wrong. Wake Forest was definitely the better team.
All right.
Yeah,
Garrett, I know
the ACC
you're-
is in fucking shambles.
the
Yeah,
ACC
I
is in
agree.
chicken. Garrett, I know you're pretty much more of an NFL guy, so just jump in on these college games whenever you want. I don't want to keep calling you out if you haven't watched them.
Okay.
All right, next A&M and Mississippi State. Mississippi State beat the shit out of A&M, and the only person that had Mississippi State was Earl. So Earl, or why'd you pick Mississippi State? Were they strong?
No, I think Texas A&M was weak. Yeah, bitches.
Anti-strong.
No, I mean, I just thought Mississippi State was the better team. Texas A&M hasn't looked really all that good. Mississippi State, in my opinion, it looked like they were going to have a good game. I mean, I just thought they were going to play better. They did.
A&M is fucking pitiful. I mean, they
Yeah.
got their ass whipped. Like that game was never even close.
Right. They didn't look good.
Yeah, A&M's not good.
Yeah.
I'm tired of hearing about them. I want them to go away until they can put a fucking game together and then they can come back.
Yeah, until they can pay off Jimbo in about
Yeah.
10 fucking years.
It's a fucking joke, and they're going to get demolished by Alabama next week with a backup quarterback. I'm pretty much done with A&M. All right, and then the last game, Earl, your Terps, and I guess Garrett might be a sort of in the periphery supporter of the Terps as a hometown team. They took care of business against Michigan State. So me and Amy had Michigan State. Zach, the biggest Maryland hater, took Maryland, and Earl and took Maryland as well. So what were you guys' thoughts on this game? I thought Maryland looked pretty good. I'm not gonna take anything away from them. I thought they played a good game, and really, I don't think Michigan State's that good, but Maryland took it to them. What'd you guys think?
I mean, I'll go first. I think Maryland has a good offense. They can score some points. I didn't think Michigan State was that good, and they aren't. So I thought we would score easily on them. I didn't know how our defense was going to do, but their offense sucks too. So to me, it looked like an easy pick for Maryland. I mean, I know you're a Maryland hater, you're a Ravens hater, you're a Terps hater, and you
You
want
see what I'm saying? See, this is the shit that pisses me off. I literally, Jamie, what was I wearing yesterday?
Thank you. I appreciated it.
Yeah,
Still get called a hater.
you had like a pink.
Did you pick them?
No, I didn't pick them. Not because I'm a hater, because I thought they're going to lose.
No, you didn't.
You look like Earl's girlfriend yesterday. It was weird. It's like I know we had bye weeks, but I was still wearing my Notre Dame shit. You had on a pink Maryland shirt, and Earl was there with all his Maryland gear. I don't know. It was weird.
I was. It's not pink. It's light red. All right.
He was a supporter. I'm cool with that.
It's an old school Terp shirt. The
You put him in a
shirt's
dress. You put him in a dress. He was your girlfriend for the
I
day.
mean, ain't nobody giving a fuck what you're talking about. Don't stop being bitter because Notre Dame sucks. I mean, this is getting a little bit old too.
Hitter.
Yeah.
I was rocking my shit. You were wearing
were?
this shit after going on this whole campaign about how Maryland sucks. You're wearing a Maryland shirt, and it was pink at that.
It was light red.
Just didn't make sense to me.
It was light red.
It was a bit questionable.
All right. Anybody else? We've heard from you two jackasses. Zach, Garrett, you guys got anything on the Maryland game?
Michigan State is an abomination, and I'm pretty sure that coach has like a $95 million guarantee. So, way to fucking go. I mean, whoever their AD is, great job.
Great job. All right, Gary, you watch this game?
Yeah, I caught a little bit of it. I thought there was definitely could have been a little bit more defense. There was multiple times in that game where people were just running wide open, but Maryland looked pretty good.
They did. Yeah, it did look kind of like a 7-on-7 game, didn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. Flag football out there.
Yeah. So big win. All right. Well, ain't nobody trying to take anything away from you, Earl. It's a big win. We'll give it to you.
Yeah, I think Maryland's going bowling. I mean, they definitely look better than expected. And Michigan State looks like absolute dog shit. So Maryland's got Rutgers, and they just need one more.
They got it. They'll either Purdue. They might beat Purdue. They could beat Wisconsin.
You're not beating Purdue.
We could.
You're not beating Purdue.
Why are you so high on Purdue?
I'm low on Maryland. No, I think Purdue's pretty good. Purdue just beat Minnesota. I thought Minnesota's pretty decent. So I don't think Maryland beats Purdue. Well, that game's on the next week's picks.
Maryland.
So I don't want to spoil the surprise, but I'm taking Purdue.
Maryland plays Northwestern and Rutgers. So
Yeah, they're in good shape.
looking bright.
And also, Wisconsin just got their ass whipped at home by Illinois.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So
I say we're going to beat Indiana. We're going to beat Purdue. Wisconsin, I thought at the beginning of the year was going to be pretty good, but they haven't really showed too much. So we have a chance even with Wisconsin.
Or are you calling an undefeated season?
No. No, I'm gonna say I put down that we were going 7-5. We might go 8-4.
yeah, you guys might really exceed expectations.
Are you hoping for a New Year 6?
Whatever.
You guys good on Maryland, or are we going to keep going?
We're good.
We've already talked too much about Maryland.
Fucking A. Fucking A.
Turtle bitches.
What'd you say?
Fear the turtle bitches.
Fear the turtle. There it is. There it is. All right. So anything else you guys want to talk about before we wrap up college football week in review? Tennessee had a bye. Notre Dame had a bye. So we were actually just all sort of enjoying the games with really no vested interest. But a lot of close games. I mean, Alabama struggled. LSU struggled. Georgia struggled. There was a lot of really strange games. Oklahoma got obliterated. So I don't know. I think it speaks volumes about how crazy I think the season is going to go. I don't think there's any dominant conference, to be honest. The SEC is the best conference, like always, but I don't think there's any dominant conference. I think college football is pretty wide open this year. You guys see anything different?
Well, Georgia definitely looked a lot more vulnerable the last 2 weeks than the first two. Missouri sucks ass, and they should have won that game, which was crazy. I mean, all 20,000 of their fans were going wild. I'm sure that stadium was like moderately loud. And TCU Oklahoma, what a weird game that was. They fucking destroyed them. I don't think anybody had TCU by 30. So and
Yeah,
also USC struggled last night. I don't know if anybody was up late enough to see it. I watched the first half. Arizona State was doing whatever they wanted on offense, and then USC pulled away
Yeah.
like mid third quarter. But USC is way overrated.
yeah. I don't think USC is good at all. So I've not been a big believer. I mean, I think they're gonna win 9-10 games. I think the Pac-12 is pretty weak. So, but I'm not a big believer in USC at all.
Oh, and also one of the biggest dick moves I've ever fucking seen. Ohio State was up 42-10 on Rutgers and ran a fake punt. Fucking bizarre. They got it. The punter ran out of bounds, and the Rutgers return man laid him out with a late hit. So it worked itself out. But
Yeah, that's some cheesy shit. That's the kind of shit that Ohio State does too. Up 100 and they go for a fake punt. That's the shit that John Harbaugh does too. But we'll get to that in a minute. Anything else on college football? It was a crazy week. I thought it was a crazy week, and I think next week's going to be even crazier as everybody starts to get really into the teeth of conference play. So I'm looking forward to it. It should be pretty exciting.
Don't they start the playoff rankings next week, right? Is it week 6?
I don't care. Anybody else? I don't really care. I mean, to me, the playoffs, it doesn't really matter until later in the week. We should start when we will do our playoffs, our playoff predictions. But I don't give a fuck what those bitches on ESPN do.
Yeah, but you're kind of, I mean, you guys are in the thick of it. So I would think that you guys would be excited for it. I always was when we were kind of in the discussion.
No, I'm really not. I mean, I feel like, and I just feel like if you take care of business, you'll be in, and if you don't, you won't, and that's just the way it is. I think with the schedule that we play, you got to win. I mean, we play Alabama, we play Georgia, LSU, Florida. I mean, Kentucky. We play 6 top 25 teams and the top 2 teams. So I mean, you got to win them. You either win them or you don't.
Yeah, for sure. But are you not excited because you don't feel good about those games?
I feel great about those games, but for me, it's 1 week at a time. I mean, you got to win the next game, and if you don't, then you're going to drop in whatever polls are out there. I don't see the point. Like a playoff, even if they did the playoff prediction now and had us in the top 4, it means absolutely nothing to me because you got to take care of business for 8 more weeks. So I don't really. It's irrelevant for me. Were you got Zach? You think anything different?
no, I don't give a fuck about the rankings other than principle. Like the fact that Oklahoma State jumped us, I think is disgusting.
Complete bullshit. That was complete.
Like
bullshit.
no other SEC team would have that shit happen. We have 2 top 25 wins. Fuck Oklahoma State.
I don't think you have any top 25 wins now.
They were top 25 when we played them.
Yeah, but they're not top 25 teams.
Makes no difference. Who's Oklahoma State beat? Oklahoma. You think Oklahoma's gonna be top 25 now?
I'm not validating the
Well, I was gonna say Oklahoma State beat Baylor, who will now not be in the top 25. So
Oh, that's I meant Baylor. Yeah.
I'm not validating that move. I'm just saying your guys' resume really took a hit with Pitt losing to powerhouse Georgia Tech in the ACC.
We don't need resume building. See, that's the shit that you have to do when you play in a sorry ass conference. But when you play in the SEC, you don't need resume building. You just got to win. You just got to win.
I'm not saying that. But you just said we have 2 top 25 wins and you don't. That's all I'm saying.
They were top 25 when we played them, and we beat them both.
They're
That's
not
all you
top
can do.
25 teams. But carry
What'd
on.
you say?
that's a dumbass argument. We hurt
shit.
2 of their fucking quarterbacks. If they had their starting quarterback, they'd still be top 25.
Exactly.
No.
That's how the season at the time they were a top 25 team. Now they're fucking not.
Yeah, but you even said preseason and early in the season that you didn't think Pitt was very good. Now that
Yeah.
you beat
No,
Pitt,
I said not as good as he was saying.
well, he said
Whoa,
you know.
whoa! Don't be putting that shit on me.
20 to 25 is what I said. That's
you
where they
have them
belong.
as the ACC champs.
I said it, huh?
You have Pitt as the ACC champs.
Yeah, he still does.
I still do.
Yeah.
I still do. That's what I think about the ACC.
You're an idiot.
I mean,
Listen,
if Arkansas had beat Bama this weekend, they were still number 2 at the time. Like, what the fuck kind of argument is that?
yeah, I think Jamie, as long as when you play a team that's rated, they're rated at that time.
No,
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
we were preseason number 5. Is anyone going to brag about beating us this year? No.
Yeah, Ohio State.
Marshall will.
They still talk about Ohio State beating Notre Dame when they were number 5. Every time that they reference that win, They referenced them as beating Notre Dame when they were 5.
Yeah, but how stupid is that?
That's how it's always been done.
It's
It's a
stupid.
reality.
It's stupid, but that's how it is.
It's a fucking
Oh.
reality.
Okay, so that because that's how it is, we're gonna act like it makes sense. Okay, I'm good.
I mean, the
What's
only
this-
way that you can argue against that is if you're going to say that no rankings matter until the entire season is done. And then we can rank all the teams and count the fucking wins.
No, all I said was that your guys' resume took a hit because last week we said you guys. I even said that you guys have a pretty impressive resume to this point, but at this point, a week later, after games have been played, it took a hit. That's all I'm saying.
If we had not beat Pitt and not beat Florida, they'd both still be in the top 25.
If you take ranking here's if
Yeah,
you
but
take
if you
rank,
didn't beat them, it wouldn't matter.
listen, if you take rankings away, forget the rankings. If so the win on the road against Pitt and the road and the win with Florida coming into Knoxville, you don't think those are good solid wins?
Every win's a good win.
Yeah,
But
they're-
those are solid wins.
I think it's weird that you guys are still saying top 25 wins. Those teams aren't top 25 teams.
They were
Hey,
when they-
listen,
But I don't think
I-
top 20.
I agree with Jamie. That you guys did take a hit on your toughness of your schedule.
oh really?
But I mean, with those, but if you play a ranked team, if they're ranked 20, whenever you play them, that's what they were.
So listen, if you play, let's say Maryland plays Georgia. Maryland beats Georgia at number 1, and then Georgia drops to number 7. Are you saying Maryland didn't beat the number 1 team?
No, they did. I am saying that.
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck kind of stupid ass argument are we having right
If Maryland beat Georgia, Georgia wouldn't be ranked number 7 ever again. So get that shit out of here. You got to make a real argument.
He was proving a point, and he was showing you
Look,
how.
I get what you guys are saying. Like, I get it. When you beat them, they were ranked. I'm just saying that your resume took a hit because those teams don't look as good as we thought they would. And I think we all can agree to that.
now? I
To
don't
me,
agree.
to me, the only time that's relevant is extreme cases. Like if
But
you
Florida-
beat a number 5 team in week 1 and then they go fucking 2-10, yeah, that's a fucking it's meaningless win.
Or if you.
But for
or-
now, they were top 25 teams. We beat them a week ago or 2 weeks ago.
I'm not saying that they're
That's what we had to go off of.
But I think the assumption is that they're going to be top 25 at the end of the season. I would assume they're going to finish where they were.
who?
Florida and Pitt will both finish in the top 25.
What do you mean where they were? When you played them, they're going to finish where they were when you played them? Because Florida was number 12 when you played them, right?
No, they were number 19. We were number 11 or something like that. But what I'm saying is that in the top 25 is what I mean.
Zach,
So
is that right?
I
I thought Florida jumped up in the rankings after they beat Utah because they weren't even ranked. And then
No,
they flew up
they-
the rankings.
they did, but that was their first game, and then they jumped up again when they won the third game.
It's all irrelevant anyway. All the shit changes week to week, and
Correct.
teams are completely different in September than they are in November.
Correct.
So all we have to go off of is what they were ranked at the time.
Correct.
And yes, I agree with you, Jamie, that some rankings don't mean anything. Like when Michigan lost to fucking App State, they probably shouldn't have been number 2. But outside of crazy examples, it is what it is. I mean,
I agree with what you guys are saying. I literally said that your guys' resume to this point has taken a hit when Georgia Tech beat the ACC powerhouse Pitt. That's all I
No,
said.
you're so fucking stupid. Listen, first of all, there's no such thing as a resume taking a hit in the SEC. If you win the SEC, you're going to be in the playoffs. So resume doesn't matter. That's
Well-
some shit that Notre Dame has to look at as the resume builder,
That's
or
true.
Ohio State has to look at as the resume builder.
That's
In the
true.
SEC, all you do is win the conference. So who gives a fuck about the
So-
resume?
If that's the case, then why are we even having this conversation? You guys,
Because you started this stupid shit.
but you guys aren't winning the conference. So shut your fucking mouth.
my entire point was that when we played Pitt, they had a different quarterback than they do now. They played a 3rd-string quarterback against Georgia Tech. So
And
our
they
win
Played the
Is it-
back against you guys.
is a completely different win
guys-
than
you guys were
Georgia
actually
Tech's
losing.
upset.
You guys were actually losing the game when the starter was in.
Correct. Incorrect. We were up 10, stupid.
No,
We were up 10. You want to bet?
you finished the game against the backup.
That's right.
We-
After we knocked
Backup.
it.
And the backup was even like limping around.
This dude didn't even watch the game. He was busy watching Notre Dame lose to Marshall, and he's talking shit about this game. It's
I watched-
unbelievable.
Watch the game.
Huh?
We went
did.
up when the starter was in, which is irrelevant. The fact that Pitt was playing their third string quarterback against Georgia Tech, it's a completely different fucking team. It's a different game.
That's right.
So are you still sticking
So
to Pitt? Pitt's a powerhouse.
no one said Pitt was a powerhouse. I said it was a good win.
Your dad did.
I'm in powerhouse. I said they're going to win the ACC. I'm
Hey,
still
let's-
saying
let's-
it.
Hey, let's move on to the teams that are the teams that are 5-0 ranked and what they're going to do next week.
The teams that are 4-0 or 5-0.
Well, some
Because
of
if
them.
I mean, if we're talking about undefeated teams, then we're still talking about Tennessee. You guys know that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. They're
I just
4-0.
want to make sure we're all on the same page with that. Okay, if you guys want to talk about one or two lost teams, then we can move on to Maryland, Notre Dame. Anybody? All right, good. Okay. So are we good on college football or you guys want to move on to the NFL? Or
You're the
Jamie,
NFL.
I thought I just said something, man.
About-
God damn.
That's
I-
just next episode, Earl.
All right, you want to wait?
We're not
till-
here. We're not doing picks. Are you crazy?
I'm
This
not-
is why you're not the host.
I'm not asking to do picks. I'm just saying.
Earl-
about-
Earl's trying to get his screen time up.
He's trying to, yeah, right.
Please,
Exactly.
no.
He's trying to get his percentage up.
Exactly. He was bitching last night about how much time I occupy talking. He's like, I'm gonna put a stop to this shit tonight.
He like put on the host hat. He was like, all right. He's like, moving on. That new topic.
He did. He did.
I like it.
All
Earl.
right.
Keep it up.
Earl, you good?
And now he's
He-
trying
hey.
to mute it.
We were
Earl just-
stumbling.
Earl just gave us the move on fingers.
I agree with him.
All right. Anything else for college football wrap up of week?
No.
Or Earl says no. Zach, Garrett, you guys got anything on college football week 5? Earl, shut the fuck up. All right, let's go. You guys want to move on to the NFL week 4? Earl, is that what you're waiting on? You want to get to the NFL
Yeah.
week?
No, I'm not waiting on that.
Huh?
I'm not waiting on that because I know you're just gonna bitch about the Ravens.
Oh, no, not bitch.
Well,
Bitch.
I said
I'm gonna bitch.
You're right.
So who wants to start? Listen, we might as well start with the most obvious. We're at fucking recording in Baltimore, so let's talk about the Ravens. Earl, tell us about your boys.
Yeah, I'll start. Very disappointing loss. Listen, I think that it's not sometimes the coaches can cause the game loss, and I think that was today was one of the times. I think one of the main things is, and before even not going for the field goal, was how we had the ball with, I don't even know what it was, a couple minutes left in the first half. And we could have ran a few more plays. We could have got to the 2-minute warning, but we threw a pass, it stopped. Now we gave them the ball with 2 minutes left to go down and score. All we needed was 2nd and 6. I think if we had ran the ball maybe twice, get the first down, we would have ran more time off the clock. It would have been less time for them to go down and score. It's time management. I think we need to work on that a little bit. Fourth and goal with 4 minutes left. I think you take the field goal, go up, and hopefully your defense can stop them, with 4 minutes left. I'd rather have that than them go down there and he threw a pick. They got it at the 20-yard line instead of the 2-yard line.
Yeah, we all saw it.
Yeah. So it was they messed up once again, second half.
Garrett, you want to go next?
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough. Yeah, it really switched hands there in the at the end of the first, where Earl was just referring to with the pass. Thought the defender got there a little early, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, it was brutal, man. I think you got to take the points. I'm getting tired of the experiments here towards the end of the games, and we're just losing games because we can't figure out how to just take points and use the best kicker in the history of the game.
So let me, Jamie and Zach, if you guys don't mind, before we move on here, to you, Garrett, we talked about the Dolphins game, and we asked the question, would you hit the panic button on the season after the Ravens had the meltdown in the fourth quarter against the Dolphins? And Ray's just showing me that I lost my fantasy game too.
You won by 6/10 of a point.
Really? These guys said, no, you don't hit the panic button. It's too early in the season. It's just one game, whatever. And I said, no, I think maybe you don't hit the panic button. You sound the alarm, because the Ravens had clearly dominated a game. And then to lose like that, when Lamar had a great game, the Ravens had a great game, and then still to come out with a loss against the Dolphins, I think was concerned. After you see a similar game today with another fourth quarter kind of game get away from them, what do you think? Are you concerned as a Ravens fan, or are you saying, look, it's early in the season, we'll get it worked out?
No, I'm not concerned. I'm not sounding any alarms, nothing like that. It does suck to continue to lose games that should be won. Seems like they found a new way to do it. But hey, I mean, they're playing a tough game against what everybody's crowning already as a Super Bowl champion. So, I mean, they're battling down there at the end. I mean, weather conditions are pretty bad. So everyone was out there dropping balls, and Bills are doing it. Ravens are doing it. People are taking off gloves. They're putting gloves on, like all over the place. But hey, I mean, it's a tough game against a big time Super Bowl contender. So
yeah, no, I agree with. It was a tough game against the probably the favorite to win the Super Bowl. People were on board with the Buffalo being a Super Bowl contender. Zach, Jamie, what do you guys think? Jamie?
Yeah, I mean, I thought the Ravens looked really good in the first half, and they dominated the first half. The Bills got that touchdown right before halftime, and then the Ravens came out with the ball in the third quarter and threw the ball 3 times, a quick 3 and out, and then Buffalo scored. The game just kind of changed. The Ravens also had 2 turnovers, the deflection with the pick, and then to go forward on 4th down on your 2 or 3 yard line. I thought was a silly play. I thought they should have took the points there.
Bizarre. It was.
Yeah, just another kind of a meltdown. But I wouldn't panic either, because really the Ravens, they've been playing pretty well, and they really should be 4-0. They had the meltdown to the Dolphins with their secondary, and then today they just didn't really do anything in the second half. And the Bills are also, like you guys are saying, they're the Super Bowl favorite. Like it's not like they're a bad team. Like they made the plays to win the game. The Ravens, I think they have some things that they need to get figured out, and it's a long season, and they have all the tools and resources to win games and be competitive. It is a bit concerning that the coaching decisions do keep biting them in the ass, and the players aren't making the plays to win games, but I wouldn't panic after week 4. It's a long season, and the Ravens are a good team.
Zach?
Well, I wouldn't panic, but it depends on what your goals are. If you think the goal is a Super Bowl, then you should be concerned. Like, they have blown 2 20-point leads in 4 weeks. You have the Bills at home in the best conditions you could ask for, where it's fucking pouring down rain and they can't throw, and they imploded. I mean, not to mention, you guys keep talking about the 4th and 3 at the goal line with 4 minutes left. They went for it on 4th down at their own 30, which was a horrendous decision.
Agreed.
Like, they get stopped there, they're giving the game away.
Agreed.
The Bills have scored multiple possessions in a row. You're asking them to score more points when you haven't scored in 20 game minutes or whatever it was at that point. And the Ravens, I don't think, scored after, was it the 5-minute mark in the first half or something?
Yeah.
Like, they went up 20-3 and then never scored again. That's crazy. So, they'll win some games in the regular season, but as far as playoffs go, I don't think you can be optimistic. And the Bills, they had them right where they wanted them, and they were who they thought they were, and they let them off the hook. I mean, like,
Dick.
yeah, that was crazy. I've never seen a decision like that. Maybe since the Seahawks with that passing the ball in the Super Bowl shit. That was abysmal.
I actually agree. Go ahead, Zach.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I thought the Bills actually played a pretty sloppy game in the first half. Like, a lot of drop passes and tip balls and stuff that led to a pick and a touchdown. And the Ravens still couldn't beat them. Like, if you're the Ravens, that's who your goal is in the playoffs, is the Bills, Bengals, Chiefs. So when you have them 17 points, you have to fucking win, especially at home.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm gonna disagree with all of you guys again. I did it in week 2 and I'm doing it now. I don't think you push the panic alarm, but I do think that if I were a Ravens fan, I would be like, man, I'm pretty concerned about the trend that I'm seeing. That Lamar is playing. You guys know I'm not a Lamar supporter in terms of being a quarterback. I think he's a great athlete, but he's playing really well. And so in the first 4 games, I don't think you could ask him to play much better than he's played. And so for the Ravens to come away 2-2, playing at the level he's playing at, with the team playing at the level they're playing at, having leads going into the halftime or fourth quarter, and then giving those games up against what are probably going to be playoff teams. I don't know about the Dolphins now with Tua out, but otherwise playoff teams.
Tua's
I'm
gonna
What's that?
Tua's gonna play. Even if he's concussed, they're gonna put him out there.
Motherfucker be out there in a wheelchair.
Yeah, they're gonna
Yeah,
wheel his ass out
I
there.
think the Dolphins had another game today, they would have played him.
Yeah, he's not even on the injured report. Like he's a full go.
It's just back spasms. He's all
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, he
definitely.
had an ankle injury too.
Hey, listen, I hear you about it's definitely not panic time like you said, but you're
No.
right. It's concerning of what's happened because Lamar has played 4 excellent games,
Hmm.
and if your defense,
I would say 3.5. Sorry.
yeah, you're right. I mean, he did 3.5.
he's getting the job done, right?
He's
Right
getting the
now,
job
we
done.
can all
And
agree
the-
he's getting the job done. Whatever.
Yes, and I think our defense is not up to par. And that's fine. We have 3 rookie corner. We have I think it's
Yeah. See, this is the shit, Earl. This is the rabbit hole you got. I mean, I don't want to cut you off. But,
wait though for a minute. Let me
but,
just finish,
please
because-
don't list all the rookies and injuries. Nobody cares. I mean, you got an NFL team, right?
Yes. But I'm just saying it's going to take them a little bit to gel together. That's why I'm not throwing the panic button. I think they will get better as the year goes.
I think the Bills had more players out injured than the Ravens though. Like the Bills have a ton of defensive players.
They did.
But like Anthony's saying, like who cares about who's injured and who's a rookie? Like the players got to play.
I'm not complaining about that. What I'm saying is they will get better as the year goes. So I think our defense will get better as the year goes.
But Earl, here's my question for you and Garrett. That would be a good argument if the Ravens struggled back and forth through those games, but they didn't. Those same players that you're talking about that need to develop were good enough to establish a big lead in both of those games and still relinquished in the fourth quarter. That's the trend that I think is concerning. It's the same players, right? They didn't get new players in the fourth.
Yeah, they did. Kyle Fuller got hurt and was season-ending injury, and then that brought in a starter,
Okay.
instead of a guy who was just coming in maybe dime or nickel time. So instead
They,
of
they
complaining-
completely inactivated one of those guys we're talking about today, so he's like not even in the picture right now.
yeah. So I mean, instead of him coming in 10 plays, he had to play, 35 plays. That's all.
I'll tell you what the defense is doing, which is encouraging. Besides all the late fourth quarter, they are forcing turnovers. I think they have about like 11 turnovers already this year, which is about what they had last year. So they are turning the ball over, which is good. I do think the secondary will kind of gel as we go. It is extremely frustrating, but the thing that I thought was bad today was it looked like they just let them run the ball at will, which is not good, which
Yeah.
could be Michael Pierce being out. But I also believe the rookie that they have coming that's going to play more snaps now, Travis Jones, I think he's going to be a monster. I think that's his actual second NFL game. So I think he could be a big contributor going down here. But as of now, like that was concerning.
All right.
I think that like one of the bigger concerns than young players or injuries is the coaching. Like the coaching has been bad, and they've really put your players and your team at disadvantages because of the decisions that they're making. So I think that's more of a glaring issue than who's playing corner or who's not playing today.
And I can tell you that is exactly right. When they had a minute and 43 left, half the team let the running back go, and then Oweh came all the way from the far end and tackled him. And you saw Calais Campbell going like this, and and Humphrey going like this, like we wanted him to score so we could get the ball back. If not, they're going to run the timeout. We have nothing. With zero
Yeah,
chances. to
but-
win.
That's exactly what they did.
But I also saw that. But how does everyone on the field not know what the plan is?
because of the
Exactly.
because of the coaching. That's I mean, in that play, I don't think half the team knew what they wanted to do because they're young people. You saw all the people who
Wait,
were
wait, 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 wait. So you're
the
saying that
leaders saying, "What's going on?"
Earl, you're saying the reason for the confusion on the field was because of the young players on the field, not the coaches?
I'm saying communication and the coaches. Yes.
I mean, but at what point are we going to stop blaming communication? That was the whole Dolphins thing. I mean, that's 2 weeks ago. I
Well, they
mean,
get it right.
at some point, somebody's got to communicate.
That's right. That's
know?
exactly right.
I
Somebody's
mean,
got to
it's
do
the fucking NFL. Like
it. Yeah.
that shit's inexcusable.
They had to let them score. They had to let them score if they wanted a chance to win or block.
Whatever the plan is, why is your team split on what the plan is? Whatever
I
it
don't
is.
know. I
think-
don't know. You
I
saw
think
it.
I think the players came up with their own plan because the coaches didn't give a plan.
That's what I think too.
That probably could be it.
They were all
Like
on different pages. And also that plan is, I mean, it's pure desperation. Like anytime you're-
Harbaugh was bitching at the McDonald. He was bitching at him, like, what the fuck?
yeah, but anytime you're
When is Harbaugh not bitching?
That
at somebody
plan
about
actually
something?
did
He's a
work just
fucking
2
crybaby. Harbaugh's
No.
a fucking crybaby.
no. I know that plan can work, but that's a desperation plan. Anytime
Oh,
you're
it definitely is for
anytime you're
sure.
letting the team score, it's like
Yeah.
okay, we're fucked. Like we need the
Yeah.
ball back. So
I think that was the Browns. Like week 1 or 2 actually did that.
the Jets,
I,
yeah.
I actually think it was the right decision, but
I do too.
they didn't do
I
it.
do
So
too. The game's over. If you don't let him score, the game's over.
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, at that point, you're just praying for a bad snap on the field goal because it's. I mean, it's a.
But the other thing too is I think the Bills players also knew not to score because they knew to get the first down because it wasn't a goal
Yeah,
situation.
I think it was like on the 2 or 3.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's when they did like a sneak. They got the first down. They melted the clock, kicked the field goal. So I mean, they knew too. So I don't even know if they would have taken the touchdown. So
They
Oh,
would have taken the touchdown.
he
You don't
was
pass
going.
up the
Yeah.
Gotta pick him up
Yeah,
and
he
throw him
was, he
in
was
there.
running.
there's been several times where players sat down and didn't take the touchdown.
He
was.
wasn't. He was running hard.
That player
Yeah,
he
he
was
was.
when he tackled him. I'm saying at that point the Bills kind of reassessed and said, "All right, don't score, get the first down, melt." the
Yeah,
clock."
once they tackled him, it was over. The Bills started taking a knee. I mean, it's
Right.
done. And that's why the Ravens fucked up. I thought the coaching really fucked up. I don't like Harbaugh at all. He's a fucking crybaby, but I know I mean, look, the Ravens have been good for a long time. So obviously, he deserves some credit for that, but he's got to take the blame for this. These are huge meltdowns. And
Yeah.
so I don't know, man.
His post conference sucked. He said the reason why he did it. He says, "Well, if we would have scored the touchdown, of course, we go up a touchdown. But he says they have 4 down plays, and it's no longer a 3 down play. They have 4 down plays all the way up." I'm like, I said, "Fucking stupid." Of course, it's 4 down plays. They're losing, So no matter what, if we would have scored a touchdown, if we would have missed a touchdown, they're still going down the field. They're going to use all their plays to try to win. It was just dumb. It was dumb.
Yeah, listen, I think everybody would agree it was a meltdown on some level. You put the blame wherever you want, but it's a bad look to give up 2 big leads like that. And that was a big lead they gave up. I mean, they gave up 23 unanswered points. That's
I don't-
inexcusable.
I don't agree with going.
20
For it.
unanswered.
I don't agree with going for it on 4th, but if you're gonna go for it on 4th with Lamar Jackson, I think you maybe call a play that kind of gets him out of the pocket or makes him a runner or like gets the offense moving. They ran a regular play with him sitting in the pocket and he had pressure on him as soon as he snapped the ball.
Right.
And
If
he
you didn't
really
have the pressure, you had the guy wide open too.
Yeah, the receiver was wide open, but he literally had 2 guys in his face. There was no way he could have made that throw. He
Yeah,
was-
exactly.
He could have hit the Mike Davis right there on the
Oh
interception.
my God, you fucking guys. All right, so let me ask you guys a question. If
I don't
the
know why he was on
Ravens,
the field.
the Ravens right now, in a word, just yes or no, are the Ravens a Super Bowl contender, Garrett?
That's a dumb question. You know my answer. Yes,
Earl?
absolutely.
Earl?
No, I'm going to go yes.
Jamie?
No, they never have been for me this year.
Zach?
Not anytime fucking soon.
No, I still got them 500, and that's exactly. I mean, they're 2-2. I got them 8 and 9. I mean,
Yeah, I have
there's-
9 and 8.
That
So
is not
they're
500.
pacing for me.
What's that?
That is not 5. How is 8, 9, 500?
Well,
Yeah,
there's
they
an
don't
odd
play-
number of games, so it's as good as it gets.
The 500 is not a thing.
You know what he means.
I got them 8, 8, and 1 then.
So listen,
didn't-
I mean,
All right. All right.
I got to fucking reinvent math.
Oh my god.
This dude's
All
hazing.
right.
He took
All
the
right.
under,
So listen.
he took the under on 500. Why can't they be 9 and 8?
yeah.
Hey, listen. I'm feeling 9 and 8.
Did you hear Earl?
All right.
Earl's like, yeah. He's in the background, like, yeah. What the fuck?
He was fist pumping.
Yeah.
All right. So look, any other NFL headlines you guys want to go through? I mean, there wasn't. I don't think there were many headlines from the NFL games today. Everything was
Are we
almost
not going to
chalk.
talk about? Are we not going to talk about this Tua shit?
Wait, before we get, he got named the starter at Pittsburgh, and I've been on Pickett all year. I'm telling you guys right now, Pickett's going to be good as shit. So I'm getting ready to pick him up in fantasy. And
Dude,
we'll see.
that pick he threw on his first pass was fucking great.
Yeah. How bad is your fantasy team that your move is to pick up Pickett?
Anybody else got anything?
That's a question for you.
Anything else?
Everyone's waiting for your response. That's a
Yeah,
valid-
we're waiting for you, bud.
You guys said I talk too much on the podcast, so I'm kicking it out. Anybody else got anything?
And when we want you to talk, you don't want to talk.
Hey, shut the fuck up.
I
You
would like-
shut the fuck up.
And then your team must be bad because you were also looking at Geno Smith saying, "Damn, I might get him too."
Oh.
Listen, my motherfucking quarterback right now is Kirk Cousins, who I think has thrown for 2 touchdowns in 4 games. He's a fucking mop.
So you should be hitting the panic button.
I am in the panic button.
Oh,
I'm
he is
thinking about
sounding the
picking up
alarm.
Pickett.
Yeah, sound the alarm twice.
I already sounded it. I just said I'm thinking about picking up Pickett. What are you about? All right, any other? Yeah, Zach. Let's talk about the Tua stuff. Anybody? Everybody still think he's probably not concussed? Is it all back spasms or what?
It was his ankle.
Yeah.
It's just migraines.
I was watching the game Thursday night when he got injured, and it was like I was pretty. I don't know. I felt bad. I felt super bad because he shouldn't have been on the field. I think we all can agree with that. And then when I seen him, tense up on the field and like his fingers were doing the Earl throwing up gang signs, I felt bad for him, and I was going to sleep, and I woke up and I'm looking at the TV like hoping that this guy's all right because it's just super unfortunate that he was in that situation.
How the fuck are you gonna say you felt bad for him and then say when he was laying on the field unconscious, he was doing the Earl?
He was. Did you watch it?
I watched it.
It was scary.
I don't even know
Oh
where
my
you guys are
gosh.
coming up with doing the Earl, but I that's fine with me.
Earl.
I like that.
Earl, they called you the Coolio killer, and you legit threw up gang signs.
I was saying, hey, what's up, bitches?
Yeah, he was like, "Yep, I did it."
Oh shit! All right. Anything else on Tua? I mean, yeah. Look, I mean, they fucked up. They fucked up the Dolphins. I think everybody should be fired.
I think.
In all
I mean, they already
honesty.
fired the one guy. I feel like there's got to be more coming. Dolphins look pretty shady, if you ask me. They're already getting investigated for 2 or 3 other instances, and here we are again. I don't understand how he even got back in on Sunday, as
Right.
opposed to playing 4 days later. And I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't know how many concussion protocol guys get cleared from. Well, I guess he wasn't. No, he did go in on Monday, but from Sunday and then play again on Thursday. It usually takes about 5 days from what.
Well,
I mean, it could have happened, but
he was never in the protocol. He was never in the concussion
I
protocol.
thought he went in on Monday.
No, he was getting checked, but he wasn't in the protocol. Because I
And
think if they go in the protocol, I think it's almost a lock that they miss the next game.
Yeah.
For sure. And all they said was they literally stuck to the story of back and ankle. And
Yeah.
that doctor that released him, I don't know if you guys seen, but he got fired.
Yeah.
But they're trying to blame it all on this independent doctor. Like, where are the Dolphins at in this? Like,
Exactly.
Got to be somewhere.
Man,
I mean, do you need a fucking doctor when a guy gets hit and stumbles like he's drunk off the field?
no, absolutely
Every
not.
fucking person in the country who's not a doctor was like, "Oh, he's concussed." Like,
Right.
Yeah.
What the fuck protocol are you going through?
I
And
also
you just have to put common sense into it after a while.
You don't have to put common sense into it. All you gotta do is fucking diagnose it, right? I mean, we all knew what it was. We diagnosed it. We're not even doctors. It's not
Yeah,
common sense.
after
The dude
they-
had a concussion.
After they said there was no head injury, I think you can use common sense to say the guy was fucking concussed. He's not playing the next game.
Mm,
The coach can do that.
no, we can't.
Yes, he can.
That
I
I
think you're
don't.
using common sense by just saying he is concussed because it is common sense.
Me,
Right.
Yeah, you,
I'm saying he's concussed because you could see he was concussed, so that you could medically
which tells you
diagnose-
by common sense
Common
that yes,
sense.
he was concussed.
That's right.
not common sense by what you saw.
All
He's
right.
agreeing with you, bitch.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
He's agreeing with you.
I know, but I'm disagreeing with Earl, so I don't want to. I don't want to agree with Earl by the disconnect there.
All right, common sense are all wrong.
I'm saying to Earl, what I'm saying is I don't think common sense ever has to play a factor. Like he definitely was concussed. Like he should have been diagnosed. He should have been diagnosed on the field that day. Like we all knew, and so there's
And
no way a
wasn't.
doctor couldn't know.
I know.
It's not coming. But it's a doc and Jamie, because Jamie and I had this discussion yesterday. And Earl, were you there?
Yes.
I don't know if you were. I don't know if you were there. But
Yes.
they said Jamie made the point. Well, because I said the coach is ultimately responsible, and he said, well, if the doctor clears him, what coach would not let him play? Which is a fair question, but I do think the coach is ultimately responsible because I think what happened was the coach and the doctor both just kind of looked the other way and said, let's just get him back in. He said, well, he's good. Let's let him go. Right. Right. It's not like the doctor cleared him and then the coach said, oh, I believe you. That didn't happen. We think that, right?
That conversation started with you and I saying the coach has the say of who plays and who doesn't.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
also, he's a fucking 25-year-old grown man.
I know.
Like, at some
What do you
point,
do
he's got to be
with
like,
it?
hey, I can't fucking see straight.
I mean, but athletes do that all the time, man. Sometimes you gotta.
I know they want to play through it, but
also Tua's not an established quarterback, so he's literally playing for his job. So if they put in someone else
Exactly.
to play, there's a lot of money he's leaving on the line. It could
Yeah.
never be put at the player's discretion to say whether he can play or not. That's what the
Exactly.
doctor's for. That's what the coach is for. That's what everyone else is for. And there has to be a system that protects the players,
Right.
especially when they're obviously concussed.
Players have no say so in that. That it's out of their hands at that point. They have
I
no
mean,
say so.
I agree. But at the same time, couldn't you say the coach's job is on the line? Like,
Yes.
they're all working under that same incentive structure. So, but also from the coach's perspective, he's a fucking idiot. Like, if you think the dude's hurt, take one loss and then let him come back a week later.
Exactly.
Like,
and it might
and
not
the
even
motherfucker might be a vegetable now.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not a vegetable, but he's definitely going to be fucked up. I mean, that was bad. That injury was fucking bad.
I think
And it's
McDaniel
like-
said something like it was good to hear Tua's voice, not like he was up and moving and doing good. It was just like we were happy to hear his voice. That's kind of odd.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, whole thing was bizarre, man. I'll be curious to see what the NFL does with it because they're all shady as fuck anyway. And everybody knows that they just want the guys to get on there and compete with money. Everybody knows that. But this was really, really bad and right in your face.
Mhm. They were
every-
ruling people out today, though.
What's that?
They were ruling people out today with the concussions.
You got that right.
Yeah,
Motherfucker.
that wasn't happening again.
I know people tripping coming in onto the field. They're like, concussion protocol. You gotta go."
Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta
I was,
go.
I was gonna say dudes were showing the hangovers. They were like concussed.
Oh, that'll probably last for about 2 weeks.
I was gonna say, did
But
the
look-
mainstream media talk about it at all or no? I didn't see.
I don't watch that bullshit. Jamie?
Yeah, it was. I was gonna say something about that, but I didn't want to give it attention. It's super fake because literally they were like not joking about it, but making comments about like, oh, Tua, they all knew he had a concussion, but they had no issues with him playing Thursday until after the incident happened on Thursday. And on Friday, they're all like giving these serious statements about how
On their
player safety-
soapboxes.
yeah, player safety, and they don't care about these guys, and all they want is return on investment. And it's like, where the fuck were you yesterday? Like, this happened on Sunday where they put this dude back on the field when he shouldn't have. Where were you all the way up until this game? And now when something happens, you want to say, we need to do this, we need to do that. It's like, fuck off.
That's actually why I brought it up, is because this is just another thing where the NFL does not give a fuck about the players.
Yep.
This is all about image. And as soon as people shut the fuck up about concussions, they'll let them play with their fucking head hanging off. every player out there be a zombie. They don't give a shit. I mean,
Yep.
this is the shit they always do.
Absolutely. So, look, I think we are all kind of in agreement on the Tua thing, and we all kind of agree that he probably had a concussion, right? So the other comment yesterday, Zach and Garrett, during the Maryland game, Earl said, and Earl, I'm not trying to call you out, so let me know if I'm misquoted, but Earl said that he thinks the Taglialova that plays for Maryland is going to be better than Tua.
No, good talk.
I think he has a stronger arm than Tua. I think he's gonna be a good. Yeah, that's what I said. I didn't use
I mean, one was winning games at Alabama, the other one's getting by at Maryland. Like, there's a difference.
he's not getting by. He's doing. I think he's doing really well. At Maryland.
The one at Maryland started at Alabama, couldn't cut it, and transferred to Maryland. And he's getting it done against shitty teams.
Yes, correct.
It's different. I don't even know.
Earl, defend your boy.
I don't even know if he gets drafted, the little brother.
There's no
No.
fucking way he gets
No
drafted.
way. No way.
No.
He is breaking Maryland records though, so that says a lot.
Is he?
I think so. They were saying on the other day,
He just
yesterday on
passed
the
Boomer Esiason.
He what?
He just passed Boomer Esiason.
For what?
Yards?
I think it was yards and
So you don't know.
touchdowns or something. I don't remember. It was
All right.
up. We were.
I don't think he's a scrub. I just don't think. I think it's crazy to say that he's going to be better than his big brother.
He's playing. in
He's
the
a fine college quarterback, and that's it.
Could
It's
be.
it's a bold statement. I mean, his brother's playing in. He's a starter in the NFL, right?
He was a
Yeah.
first round pick. He was like top 5, right?
yeah.
Did Tua win the Heisman?
I don't
Pretty
think.
sure he did. Let me check.
I don't
I
think
think
he
he
did.
did though.
If he didn't win the Heisman, he was a runner-up.
I don't know if he won or not.
So this is the bold statement here
I
because
think he's gonna be.
I listen. I still got to pick my fillator of the week, so this is important.
Well, you can pick that.
Between Harbaugh and Earl?
Might be a draw. No, I'm not going to give Earl fillator of the week because Earl gets mad at me. So I would just give his comment a
Don't
fillator.
get mad. I don't
He
get
gets
mad.
He gets mad. Jamie told me you were talking shit last night because you said that I'd never give you any credit for being a good poker player.
Yeah, I did say that. You know,
But you're not a good poker player.
I
What did
know.
me say that you are?
That's what you say.
Earl, I told him that because it's common knowledge. Like everyone knows that he shits on everybody about their poker skills. So
Minor
Only if they're not good. If they're good, I give them good. I said Christian's good.
You did say that.
Zach's good.
Yeah.
I'm the best. Anybody else?
I'm trash.
I left
Well,
with
you never really play, huh?
I left with some money last night.
Hey, come on. And it's not hard to leave with money over here. Everybody's idiots.
Hey, I'm just saying.
We're playing for fun here. I don't even know what the big deal was. I didn't talk shit to anybody about it.
I think
It's only
Earl cashed every game, didn't you?
I did, except for one.
No,
Me and Earl left with big money.
it was at least two because I chopped the third and fourth game. And I didn't
Tua
chop.
was second in the Heisman race.
Told you.
To
Second
who?
in the race.
I think Burrow was right. I just closed the tab. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's right.
All right, so let's. Any other headlines? There was really, I mean, it was a pretty uneventful day in the NFL. Jets beat the Steelers, but now Pickett's going to take over, so the Steelers will be in good hands. I mean, tiny hands, but good hands. Seahawks beat the Lions. Zach, you got another upset pick.
That was a lot of points in that game.
Yeah,
They were comparing it to Big 12 on TV today.
Big 12.
Like like being zero defense. It was a 48-45 game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a crazy game. Falcons beat the Browns. The Browns are a colossal turd as usual. Broncos lost 32-23, so Russell Wilson's earning all of his money. And Cardinals won 26-16.
Did you see Baker Mayfield had 9 passes batted down at the line of scrimmage today?
Really?
9 passes.
What was his total stat line? What would he do in terms of yards and touchdowns?
Oh, I know I'm getting real tired of him because of my fantasy teams. But hold on.
He must have been pissed off at his linemen, just throwing the shit in their back.
Mike was-
Dude, JJ Watt and this other dude Allen owned him today.
Yeah.
He was 22 of 36 for 197, one
Yeah.
touchdown, 2 picks.
Your starting quarterback is Baker Mayfield.
No. I got McCaffrey,
Okay.
but she's not moving.
Garrett picks McCaffrey every year. As soon as McCaffrey wakes up, he's listed as healthy, and then the second he gets out of bed, it changes to questionable, right?
Yeah,
And then by the time he gets to the practice facility, he's doubtful for game time.
Hey,
The
he probably
motherfucker
had more
stayed
points than your
injured.
whole team did today, so I don't know what you're talking about.
I won them.
You know, it's too bad he doesn't play for the Dolphins because he would fucking play every game, no matter what.
Roll him out there.
Right.
Ain't that the truth? They'd be like, rub some dirt on it. Let's go.
Did you see JJ Watt said something about like he had to get like his heart looked at on Wednesday, and then
Yeah,
everyone was like, "Oh, he's playing."
His heart was off rhythm. So
Yeah,
he got like
Oh.
electrocuted or something to put his heart back on rhythm, and he played today. That dude's a monster.
yeah. The next comment was like, "Yeah, Dolphins are definitely throwing him out there."
Oh shit. All right, Cowboys beat the Commanders. The Commanders. What a powerful name that
The
is.
Durs.
Yeah. And then the Giants beat the Bears 20-12. Bucks and Chiefs play tonight.
The AFC North is all tied, right? Between the 3 teams, they're all 2.
Yeah, that's a good thing there. The Ravens are finding good days to lose games because everyone else loses.
Yeah, but you
All
have
right.
you have to look at the other side though. Like you guys could be like leading the way by 2
Yeah.
games right now.
Correct.
That's
It's very
very-
frustrating, which is, I mean, yeah, we've already done this.
So we'll do picks. We're gonna do picks on the next episode, but just give us a sneak preview. Who you like it against the Bengals next week, Garrett?
It's a dumb question, man. Of course, the Ravens. I don't
Well,
think the Bengals look that great, man. Honestly,
They don't. No, they don't.
Their
They-
lines,
Earl doesn't necessarily pick his team.
their line's getting better.
I did pick my team
better?
against the Bengals.
Yeah, the Bengals O line, I think they look better Thursday night than they did all season. So they're
okay.
Our picks. I have Cincinnati losing.
All right. Okay. So let's not do the picks. We'll get to it. But let's do so we got to wrap up this week. So let's do our fillators of the week. So who do you got for fillator of the week? Zach, why don't you go first?
I want to go last.
Jamie?
I'll go first.
All right, go ahead, Earl.
It's the whole Miami Dolphins organization.
There's your fillators of the week.
They're the fillators of the week. Letting Tua go out there. They should have never let happen. Luckily, he came out okay after the second injury. So
Yeah, that was one of mine. That's absolutely correct. Fuck them.
fuck them.
Agreed. Garrett, you got a fillator of the week?
Mine was gonna be Baker Mayfield. I already announced that though, but 9 passes, dude. Like, get out the way, throw the ball in a lane or something. Like, figure it out. Honestly, all he's gotta do is throw the ball 5 yards to McCaffrey, and he's okay. Whatever.
It's funny. It's funny how all you guys, whenever you criticize a player, you always want them to give the ball, or you want the team to give the ball to the guy you have on your fantasy team.
No. It has nothing to do with that. I'm just saying, like, I do want him to do that.
It's
Like-
unbelievable. Like
No,
Anthony's
like-
watching the Bills Ravens game, and he's like, "All right, let's get Knox involved." And I'm like, Knox is like the 3rd or 4th option. Like,
no, it had nothing.
Thinking
It
about
sounds like it's about the fantasy team. It's not. I'm just saying, just move out the way. Stop throwing the ball in the back alignment. You bum.
Mine's about my fantasy team.
I think there's this too.
So, all right. So, listen, you could pick Baker as a fillator of the week every week. He'd probably be good to go.
Yeah, he sucks.
Jamie, he does suck. Jamie, who you got?
I think it's easy. I can go John Harbaugh.
John Harbaugh.
Mhm. His coaching has just been bad all season, and then today, I think he really. I don't know if he cost them the game because the Bills drove right down the field, so they might have scored a touchdown anyways, and they would have lost. But you got to take the points in that situation. Anytime you put your team in a bad situation, you're not doing your job. So yeah, he earned it.
even still though, like, don't you think that if you're driving down the field down 3, it's different than tied? Tied, you got nothing to lose. There's no pressure.
No, it's definitely different. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, I don't think that, I think given the situation, the Bills down 3, I trust Josh Allen to get that drive done and score a touchdown.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I don't know about that.
They
Not
also
down.
could have time left on the clock too. If they were tied or if they were down 3, they could have been like pressure to get down there quicker a little bit instead of just dragging the clock out and running it out.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, if you put the 3 points on the board right there, it's a
Changes
total
everything.
game. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yep.
You have to make them have to score. You have to.
and that
Because the Bills, if they had a bad play, could have just run the clock out and said, fuck it, overtime.
Yeah. Different sense of urgency.
Yeah.
Zach, later of the week.
Well, I was gonna say Harbaugh was up there. The Dolphins were up there. I have Levis. The dude is being just touted as this top 10 fucking pick. A 12-yard safety and 2 red zone turnovers in a 3-point game. Get the fuck out. Come on, man.
Come on. He threw a come on man in there, TJ.
I mean, and the commentators will just not shut the fuck up about him.
I know.
Like, the dude he's a solid quarterback, and that's it. Let's just fucking cool it with this, prototypical NFL shit. And
Yeah.
Lamar gets an honorable mention for hitting a defensive lineman in the face.
I
Because
don't
that was fucking astounding.
I don't understand the hype of Levis to the NFL because I don't think his game translates very well. But I do think he's a good college quarterback. He had a shitty day yesterday, and he cost his team a win. So I mean, I see why you're going with him.
Oh yeah,
Jamie,
and Kentucky's special teams, I'm throwing in 2. Fucking 2 missed extra points and a missed 25-yard field goal.
Right.
I think Levis looked yesterday like he's looked all season. I have not been impressed all season. But anyway, so before we wrap up, let me get my flavor of the week to Arkansas's defense. So I think when you knock out the starting quarterback for a team and they bring in the backup, you're playing at home and you have to assume that they're going to probably have to run the ball the majority of the plays, and then you get gashed for, I think, what was 150 yards rushing in the fourth quarter.
It was over 220 because they had 3 70-yard runs. So
Okay. So 200 yards of rushing. Yeah, you're the flater of the week. You fucking suck.
yeah, they're my other one. That's why I said I wanted to go last because I had like 5.
That shit was
People were just sucking cocks all over the place. It was crazy.
Well, that's why
Blading everywhere.
that's why taking a fillator of the week midweek was a risky. That was risky because you knew somebody was just gonna fuck up some shit, and literally the next day Miami pulled their shit, and then all weekend people were just left and right trying to outdo themselves.
I know, but they know they're going to end up on flater of the week, though, so they got to live with it now.
I'm just saying you gotta let the week play out. You can't do a midweek fillator.
I'm always going to do a midweek flater. I do a daily flater. All right, so that is a wrap on that week for the NFL and college. We're done there. We'll get back together to do the predictions for week 6 college, week 5 NFL. A lot of good games coming up. Gary, you going to join us for the picks for next week? You going to come back for the next episode?
Sure.
All right, so we will see you guys shortly. See you.
See it.